How come every guru out there thinks your body self-destructs the minute you hit a certain decade? They're not trying to coach you. They're just marketing on your fears. Hey everyone, it's me, Chris from Body Nova Fitness Coaching. And today we're going to talk about that age trap. There's a lot of those videos out there because you're 30, because you're 40, because you're 50, you have to do it like that. And for me, because I've worked with a lot of different people, I mean, from 10 or 12 years old all the way up into the 70s and 80s. And the way that I see it, people try to make age the variable. Because you are this age, you must have this condition or you must do things this way. And for me, that's intellectually dishonest, okay? And so let me explain. You could be 20 or 30 years old, and because I'll sit all day in bad postures and things like that, and you don't exercise and you don't stretch, you can have bad posture problems or have problems that create problems with your back, your shoulder, or whatever, just as much as someone who is 50 years old and has those same problems. Now, I'm 53. Okay, so I don't have most of those problems that those gurus would say that everyone should have over 50, or I don't have to work out the way they work out because I don't share the whole lifestyle. See, for them, age is the main factor, which again, that to me, that would make them totally ignorant. Either they're dumb or dishonest because is the cause of whatever it is, and then try to fix that because you'll get a lot further, a lot faster than you will trying to use blanket programs to solve everyone's problems. You see, for me, posture is a pattern, is not a birthday. So if you're sitting at desks and stuff like that, and you're hunched over, your shoulders are rounded forward, and things like that, what's going to happen is your body's going to make it easier for you to operate in those positions. So those muscles in the front, in this case, would get shortened, and the muscles in the back would get lengthened. Okay. And it's not because you're 50 or 40 or whatever it is. It's because this is how you live your life, and your body is adapting by shortening those muscles to make your life easier. A lot of the times when people try to use the age excuse and use aging as the factor for their training, it's an excuse to train light and not train with adequate weights. But again, the body, it always functions on you have to give it a stress that it's not accustomed to for it to evolve and adapt and give you what you're looking for. So if you say, oh, okay, I'm 50, whatever, so I have to train with really, really light weights and stop early before I get fatigued or tired or anything like that, your body's not going to have a reason to change. So in this case, when you're correcting posture, still it's not an excuse to train light. What it really is you're going to have to train with appropriate weights, but your exercise selection or your exercise splits are going to be more important. So if I'm tight in the front, I'm not going to be doing extra chest training and extra ab training where the hip flexors are doing the work, where the abs are just holding stuff in place and it's static. I'm going to choose exercises like rows for the upper back and maybe reverse flies to work the upper back, not just rear delt, but the upper back. Maybe more hamstring and glute exercises, to correct some of the low back issues. So it's going to be more about choosing the right exercises than it is going to be about taking it easy, because you have to push the issue and force change in order for your body to give you what you're looking for. It doesn't give you anything for free. Okay, so this next one for me is a big deal. I really get upset with this one because I see a lot of the ads and things like that where it's just like, okay, oh, this just supplement, or, dude, take this, take that. Oh, if you're over 50, so you don't have this, so you need that. And again, the lifestyle is the trigger. It is not because you don't have supplement XYZ. It's more based off of your lifestyle. So let me explain. Let me get into that. Let me explain. Okay, so when you try to make testosterone, okay, testosterone, estrogen, cortisol, it all comes off of one mother hormone. Cholesterol goes down the chain and it turns into what is called pregnenolone. And from pregnenolone, based on your lifestyle, it determines which pathway it goes down and what it converts itself into. So if you're someone, you have poor sleeping habits, a very stressful life, a lot of obligations, a lot of stressful demands and things like that in your life there. And it doesn't matter if you try to say it's not stressful or perceive it as stressful. If the body takes that as stressful, that is what it is. Or if you had a lot of obligations, that is what it is. So what happens there, instead of going down the pathway to make more testosterone, it's going to create more cortisol to help you deal with that stressful lifestyle. So that's why getting your nutrition in order and getting your lifestyle, getting your sleep is in order is going to be a very important thing. So it doesn't matter what supplement, in most cases, unless they're putting straight testosterone in your body, it may not matter what supplement they give you because the raw materials that you're going to need to make testosterone are always going to be held down to produce more cortisol to help you deal with the stressful, crappy lifestyle that you live. So fix your lifestyle first to try to lower your cortisol, and then maybe your cortisol will start to rise. Stop listening to people who give you bad advice to feed their views or feed their pockets. This next one is another one that upsets me because it tells me that the person telling you this really doesn't understand how muscles and the body work, okay? So what they'll try to tell you to do is stop doing explosive movements, stop doing heavy movements, and things like that. And I think that's silly advice at best there, but okay. Now, at the same time, you have to make arrangements for your body to be able to do this. What I mean is you want to take care of your posture. You want to, if you can't completely fix it, which that might take forever, you're not going to be able to completely fix it, is you're going to make the body stronger to be able to withstand the stress of the heavy lifting or the explosive movements. Now, with that being said, I believe that those guys that go down that path, again, are being, that's because the way that muscles work, there's principles of exercise science. And one of those principles of exercise science is use or disuse. So muscles, they function on a use it or lose it property. So if you keep giving them very little stress or no stress, they're basically going to lose their abilities to produce force. There's been studies out there that where athletes in their 70s are performing like athletes in their 30s or lifting like athletes in their 30s because they continue to use heavier weights or explosive movements and things like that. Now, of course, it's got to be appropriate. You know, if you bench 225 when you was 18 and you haven't benched in years, you probably don't want to start with 225. You probably want to start low and work your way up and find out where you're at so you lift appropriately. But anyway, so if they get you into using these nauseatingly light weights and not matching up the weights to the rep ranges that you're supposed to perform in, that's a great disservice to you, and you're not going to benefit from that. So give yourself something that'll force your body to change so you can benefit from that. Stop looking at the calendar and start by fixing your sleep hygiene. If there is one habit that you can change that will have the largest impact on your life, it would be your sleep. Your testosterone levels, your blood sugar levels, your hunger, your appetite, all of that is controlled by your quality of sleep, or your quality of sleep plays a role in all of that. Start being responsible with your workouts. Start by stretching tight muscles or shortened muscles. You know, so if I'm sitting at the desk again, I want to stretch my pecs. I'd want to work the muscles of my upper back more to help correct that posture. So when I take on load-bearing activities, I don't hurt myself, but you need those load-bearing activities. You don't want to lift light weights and you always quit early because your body has no reason to change. And so again, that body works on a use or disuse there. So if you don't use it, you're going to lose it. If you don't start with the load-bearing activities, your body has no reason to hold on to muscle, and you lose muscle not because you got older. You lose muscle because your lifestyle says that you don't need it. Start working on your stress management. A lot of the times the stress management and the sleep hygiene, they kind of go in hand to hand, because if you have a lot of stress in your life, it's going to be harder to get quality sleep because you're going to be amped up all the time. So work on some methods that help you control your stress or help you manage your stress levels so that, again, you can work on having higher testosterone levels just because you fixed your lifestyle, not because you magically got younger. So again, your body doesn't know how old it is. It just does the task that it needs to do. If you have a lifestyle that allows certain things to happen more quickly, then your body's going to help you make them happen more quickly.